Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Langley Speedway. We're in for a great race tonight. This will feature the FWM, the late models. Last week we had the trucks. The week before that, we started our late model season, and we'll go forth. I'll tell you, Chris, it's a great thing to have. I love having how we alternate between the series every Monday.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting for the drivers. It's exciting for the fans, and you just don't get hung up doing the same thing every week. It can be a bit of a challenge to trying to remember all these tracks and these cars and what setup do I use for this? What setup do I use? It can be challenging, especially in the garage.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Qualifying has just wrapped up as they're going through the drivers' meeting right now. Scott Shives is going to be your pole sitter, followed by Austin Pack. Will be row one. Hold on a second. All right, Scott Shives will be on your pole, lined up next to Austin Pack. Then you're going to have Drew Holler and lined up next to Austin Cansdale. Row three is where you're going to find Paul Dillon lined up next to Zach Patano. Row four is where you're going to find Antonio Mancini lined up next to Hunter Carlson. And row five is where you're going to find Colton Brenner lined up next to Chris Golden.
Yeah, and then in row six, you're going to have Yogi Schiller, Bradley Young. Then row seven is Benjamin Hollenbaugh and Art Moline. And then row eight, Charles Oberg and Joshua Tressler. Round out the field, you'll have in row nine, Gerald Berlin and Mr. Daniel Jones.
So we're going through this race. This race is scheduled for 125 laps. Looking.
Yep, 125. And they were saying, our Austin, our on track reporter, was telling us that they only have the tires they're starting with and one more set. That's all they've got.
Yeah, so here
And
we
it
go now as we start our
popped,
pace laps.
but it popped up here on the screen says they got two in the pits and two fast repairs and then one green white checker attempt. So we'll just have to see how that on up. It just changed. One tire set. Man, I'm telling you, I'm being set up for failure here in the background.
Lights are
One,
off on the. Why is it so? I wonder why it's so dark here. The lights have not come on, so this is going to be interesting to see if the lights do come on.
yeah,
As it
they're
is,
probably just trying to keep the track cool.
as it is, as it is really cloudy here at Langley. This track's going to be a flat track. So,
It's
Chris,
very
what do
flat,
you
very
like?
flat.
How do you like about what do you like about Langley?
Uh, nothing. um,
Well,
it's too flat for me. I do like to have a little bit of a bank. It's going to make it hard to pass out here. Um, you're probably going to see once these guys get settled in, you're going to see a lot of nose to tail. Um, and it's just there's I mean I don't like flat tracks. Just not a fan. Like I said, I like to have that little bit of banking.
meanwhile, we have Wayne Green as Scott Shives continues is going to be your leader. I believe. Hold on a second, trying to get my stuff all dialed in.
Scott Shy from Jackson, Mississippi is leading. He's up front, followed by real closely by Austin Pack. And in third place is Mr. Drew Holleran from Roswell, Georgia. In that three machine. And then in fourth place is our on track reporter, Mr. Austin Cansdale. We'll be checking in with him throughout the night periodically. Driving out of Rutledge, Tennessee, and four wide for Four Wide Motorsports. So, uh, Austin had a tough week in the trucks last week. several spins. You know, he and I were chatting before the race about it. You know, it's just a tough situation to be in. You know, you got spin after spin after spin.
Yeah, definitely. What a moment for FWM and our sister series, the Leadfoot Racing League. Were both featured on Mr. Chris Golden's ARCA car, and it was really cool. I was surprised that Leadfoot was the hood sponsor. That was awesome to see. Of course, Landon Brown and the Brown family. Of course, our good old Mr. Tracy Brown, our producer, is also an admin in that league. So that was really awesome to see. And then, of course, you saw 4Wide Motorsports on the corner panel, and then our 4Wide Motorsports Network logo on the B frame. But here we go. Scott Shives continues to lead over Austin Pack as we work lap number 9. Austin Cansdale running in third right now, as we're looking right now, trying to see. Chris, what do you see out there?
Well, we see that Austin was able to get around Mr. Mancini there for third place. And then back behind him, we've got Dylan in the 133, and then Holleran has dropped back several spots, three spots, yeah, back to 7th.
And we got a caution on the racetrack, and I believe Colton Brenner was involved because right before that, he came on the radio and said, "My bad for that." So we'll have to take a look and see what happened right here.
I got a little tap there.
Oh, man, got into Hunter Carlson right there. He just went around.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
I don't think you can say my bad on that. That was just
a little racing thing. It's just too bad for Hunter. He's going to lose several spots on the track because of it. But, you know, it wasn't nothing intentional, just a little tap there to that rear quarter panel at the right spot in that turn, and that's what happens.
Yeah, as we take a look right here, our first caution of the day, Scott Shives is going to be your leader, followed by Austin Pack. Austin Cansdale, followed by Antonio Mancini, followed by Paul Dillon, followed by Drew Holland, Zach Patano, Chris Golden, Yogi Schlier, and Benjamin Hollenball round out your top 10. Then you're going to find Bradley Young, Colton Brenner, who just brought out that caution. Joshua Tressler, Charles Oberg, Jared Berlin, Daniel Mindfood Jones, Hunter Carlson, and Art Milan are going to round out the field.
Yeah, and we look out there, you see Chris Golden, who we were just talking about in that ARCA car. He's moved up 2 spots to 8th. So Chris having a good run so far tonight.
Yeah, Chris Golden. We're going to work on it to see if we can get a I do have a screenshot of that car. So we're going to work on it to see if we can get that featured in our broadcast so that y'all can take a look at those 2 beautiful decals for sure.
Yeah, we got a good shot. Our producer was able to get one up, a couple of them. Here we go. Right there.
There we go, right there.
On the rear quarter panel. We need a better shot of that hood, though, Tracy. I mean, you can't see. Wayne will be all right. Don't worry about Wayne. If Wayne talks anything, I'll spin him out Friday night. It'll be all right.
I was about to say, Leadfoot is our sister series, so it would be okay. So we're going to work on getting that for y'all. As we go back green here, working lap number 16, Scott Shaw is trying to go back-to-back in the late models. Of course, he did won the late model race and then won the Gen 4 race at Texas the 4 days after that.
Yeah, he did. He had a heck of a week, and I was able to talk with him a little bit about that. And he was just excited to be back in the car and in the truck and back on the track. So hats off to him for that. So as we can see right here, Austin Pack getting under him for the lead.
Yeah, Austin Pack gets under and takes over the race lead. Starting to drive away for just a moment, though.
Well, if I wouldn't put it past Scott if he just ain't trying to save some tires.
Yeah, definitely. There's Scott Shives, our colleague up here in the booth. You'll hear when we're in the Craftsman Truck Series, you'll hear him up here with us calling the race. Does a great job. Always love working with Scott. Then we got a blank driver. That's not good. That's Mr. Antonio Mancini. He better get that filled out, Chris, or that's 10 points right off the bat.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to him about this. It's kind of hard to talk about the fella when we ain't got nothing to talk about.
In his defense, this producer Tracy here, by the way, in his defense, he could have filled it out tonight. I didn't have a chance to go and double check and make sure someone added it in the information at the last moment. So,
as we see Austin Cansdale get around Andrew Holler, and really good to see Andrew Holler back. Ran the ARCA cars with us a couple weeks ago. I believe he ran at Nashville Fairgrounds with us, and then he ran at Bristol as well.
Yeah, he's dangerous close on that quarter panel too. Yeah, there's one name though that we're missing from the field tonight, and I feel like I need to give him a shout out, and that's my buddy Bob Chill Oberg. He was unable to make the race tonight.
Oh, you're talking about the Chill Weevil.
Chill Weevil, there we go. Mr. Bill Chill Weevil. Yeah, I was wondering why. Oh, Charles is running 17th right now.
In here.
Charles is in here, yeah. Yeah, my buddy Bob, my buddy Chill wasn't able to make it here tonight, man. You know, Chill, we miss you, buddy. Hope to see you back in the next race.
As we take a look, meanwhile, Hunter Carlson has gotten around Jared Berlin. This is for the 13th position. Great little battle going on right here. As Hunter Carlson's coming back up on Colton Brenner. Let's see if now these two just got together just a little bit ago. Hopefully there's no history, but there is history between them. But hopefully they keep it clean. Of course, knowing Hunter Carlson, the great driver he is, he will keep it clean. But Brenner likes to be aggressive.
Hunter is not that guy. He drives hard, but he's not going to drive dirty.
Yeah, definitely. After personally racing with him on the console side for years, never really raced me dirty. Oh man! Now Jared Berlin, Jared Berlin is like a firecracker. I can like to call him the Tony Stewart of FWM. As we see Joshua Tressler get down to the inside of Brenner, trying to make that pass. He does complete that pass. Now Brenner's going to get in the bumper of him, and they save it somehow.
Good save.
Now Brenner gets off. The 77 of Oberg is right there trying to see if he can get around. And I do want to mention that the 18 of Milan, of course, he's not on the track. We found out that the Port City Pirates is a pirate reenactment group. They do reenactments. So that's something that the mystery has been solved. So, but it's not solved by some meddling kids and their dog, but two big dudes for sure. I mean, I could look like Scooby-Doo. But anyways, as we see right here, Austin Pack continuing to lead, trying to work on the Scott Shives trying to get to his back bumper, but it just shows to prove, Chris, when you get in that clean air, you can check out, as we see Austin Pack doing right now.
Yeah, he's got about a half-second lead right now on Scott, and you know, I know Scott's probably trying to get back up there a little bit closer than that. He don't want him to get too far away, but he's also probably trying to conserve some of his car.
Yeah, definitely trying to conserve it. Oh, man. Zach Patano almost got into the back of Austin Cansdale.
Yeah, Austin done a good job there.
Illinois.
Yeah, and
the
you can see when a car gets, like we saw a while ago, car gets hung up on that high groove. Man, if they're lined up nose to tail, you're going to be out there for a while because there's just no way to get back in.
As we see right here, Patano, as Golden's going to get around Hollenball, so that is for the 9th position. So move Chris Golden into the top 10, driving the, I mean, look at this dude. He comes out bougie in a solid gold car.
Yeah, well, let's just say the least. CG ain't shy at all. Trust me. I mean, this guy, he's a cat now. That's for sure.
And we got a caution. Looks like we might have a caution. There's a car that went around. We don't know who it is, but they did come on the radio and said around he goes. So we'll try to get that for you. Looks like we're going to stay green, but let's see who spun out for sure.
Yeah, it looks like Yogi's sporting some new colors on that 12 tonight.
I wonder if Yogi's daughter designed that car. Oh, it was Austin Cansdale. Patano got into his bumper and sent him around. Unbelievable. But we stay green. Lap 43 out of 125. Looking at Yogi Schlier right now. Kind of a reflected, kind of like a color chrome car. And I believe there is a dragon on there. Yogi Schlier from Wilmington, North Carolina. As we see Charles Oberg passing him. Unleash the dragon is what it says. And look at that scheme. That is a cool looking scheme.
Oh yeah, that's tight, man. That is tight. That chameleon color on there. Yeah.
Now that the lights have come on, you could really see the reflection. And Yogi better watch out because Patano, he'll use the chrome horn. Because now we see Austin Cansdale and Chris Golden battling for the 7th position. So Golden is coming up. And they're saying that pack is blinking just a little bit coming from the field. That is the word. So that is something to keep your eye on, folks. Because, Chris, that's got to be the hardest thing as a driver is when you see somebody blinking because you don't know when they're going to come back.
Yeah, the worst thing is if there's like about a 1 second delay and they come back on track out of the middle of nowhere and you're inside of their car. And it happens. You find that a lot with Wi-Fi connections. So any, Wi-Fi, anything can affect it. Bad weather, somebody cut the microwave on in the kitchen, who knows? But yeah, not a good feeling, especially if you're the guy behind that person.
Yeah, definitely not a good feeling as we see a great battle for the lead shaping up between Scott Shives and Austin Pack. Pack continuing to hold Shives. They're on the apron trying to use that flat part of the racetrack. As here they go into the turns. Pack able to hold it down. You know, I did a race last night at New Hampshire, and a lot of those guys, they were running the ARCA cars. A lot of those guys would shoot down to the apron and use the apron in the corners. Now, there was one guy the guy that actually finished second, he was slipping and sliding, but I don't know how he's able to control it. But Chris, I'm telling you, like, he was down there, and I mean, it was like he was dirt tracking it for sure.
Yeah, you're seeing some of the guys here using a little bit of the pit lane. That asphalt down there underneath that yellow line, that's actually part of the pit lane coming out and entering and exiting pit road. And it's fair game for racetrack, so you can see some of the guys starting to utilize that a little bit more.
Yeah, especially since they're coming up on lap traffic as Shives gives Pack a shot. That's actually going to push Pack out quite a bit. And Shives is just going to have to try to hang in it as they pass the lap car, Benjamin Hollenball. Now they're coming up on Gerald Berlin to put him a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, these guys ain't slowing down for nothing. I mean, you see we're on lap 56 or 125 already, so it's a fast-paced race. So when you don't have very many cautions, these laps will go down quick. And right now is not the time to try to take stop and pit for tires, because you'll be 2 laps down before you know it.
Yeah, this is not a good time. Of course, it'll be interesting to see what the field does, see what the leaders do. If the leaders come in, then I'm coming in. But if they don't, then I am definitely staying out on the racetrack.
Yep, you can see they're still working on Gerald Berlin.
And there's our second caution of the day.
Oh, that saves Gerald.
And it looks like Austin Cansdale got into the back of Colton Brenner.
Got into the back of him hard, too.
Yeah, so what it was Colton Brenner was trying to get into the pits, and Austin Cansdale just didn't know it. But here's the thing. Brenner should have got on the radio and told him, hey, I'm pitting. And that wouldn't have caused that big of a wreck. But all in all, it's going to be our second caution on lap 60. So now, Chris, let me ask you this. We've ran 60 laps. I think I'm bringing my driver in to get some tires.
Yeah, now, because you just don't know if the race is going to stay green from here on out. And we're at that point. Looks like they might be ducking down on the apron now. Nope.
Oh, Scott Shives will make that stop.
Yep, he's going to come in and take some tires.
Joshua Tressler, also on pit road. Yogi Schlier, Antonio Mancini, Colton Brenner. All coming in this time by the pit. As Mancini, he missed his box. Mancini missed his box. Yep. He had to turn around.
Yeah, he got in at a bad angle, and he's had to readjust here. And did he even get any tires or anything, or did he end up missing it altogether?
It's too quick of a stop. Joshua Tressler is still on pit road, by the way, along with Brenner. Of course, Brenner fixing that damage as Tressler. You see the jacks go up. Benjamin Hollenbaugh, kind of a weird looking spot to pit. Daniel Jones coming on pit road. Oh, now they're saying, Mancini's saying that it wouldn't even let him pit.
Oh.
So he's going to have to come back in and get tires.
Yeah, that's a tough break. Well, that's definitely shook up the field a little bit. But Austin Pack still continues to lead.
So we're working the second caution of the day, and this is the time that we need to put it out and let you know that we are currently looking for drivers in FWM. If you love this series, if you love watching this series and wondering if you could ever get into this, here's where you need to go. Go join our Discord, and as you see our QR code to screen, and there's the green flag. We're back underway. Look at this, Chris Golden all the way up to second position, trying to get around Holleran right here. They're side by side going down the backstretch.
Yeah, CG's driving like a man on fire right now, and he's got Cansdale right behind him. And that 3 car is not in a good spot right here at all.
Yeah, the three car got up into the rubber, got up into the marbles, and he was able, and Cansdale was able to get around it. But keep in mind, folks, Cansdale does have a little bit of damage from that last caution getting into the back of Brenner. But look at this. Chris Golden goes on the second spot. Yeah, Scott Shives on those fresher tires. He's the first car that has the fresher tires. And he's working on Cansdale and Golden as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get second or third right here. Cansdale may drop another spot. He may drop another spot after that. It just
third caution of the day comes out. Not quite knowing what it is. It's going to be Hunter Carlson, it sounds like.
Becker Patano.
That's what it was. Oh, Mancini.
Oh,
my
big hit
God,
right.
Brenner. Oh my gosh. Tressler goes up on 2 wheels.
Yeah, we got several cars caught in that one. Yeah, that's just
Be our 3rd caution of the day. We should see the
bad
rest of
hell.
the cars come in for tires. As Mancini's already on pit road trying to get that car fixed. And here's a good shot. Now we can see it. Chris Golden, this weekend, we were on his car. As you see, FWM Motorsports on the corner panel. And, of course, that beautiful Leadfoot Racing League logo on the front. Actually, that's the Leadfoot TV logo.
That's TV, yeah. That's where we broadcast all of our races over at Leadfoot. And we actually did one for Tracy, what's that other league that we done a broadcast or two for? Guards, yeah. Ross Dalton, Guards. So our Leadfoot TV is our production guy, Tracy Brown. He's been a busy guy here lately, and it's Leadfoot TV's really taken off. I think was it the truck race we had over 200 viewers? I think that was a truck race, wasn't it?
Well, of course you're going to take off when you got the legendary Mr. Wesley Outland, the voice of the Leadfoot late model series.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely.
guy. Done
Yeah.
several races with Wesley. Always a treat to work with. But we're going to pop this. Let's pop that. Let's pop it back on the screen. Our good producer, Mr. Tracy Brown. So, like I said, we're looking for drivers. If you're interested in join our Discord. We'll go from there. And as there's a little radio chatter, a little singing going on. But here we go, folks. I believe we're going green this lap. Let's see. See if the pace truck hits pit road.
Yep.
Pace truck's going to take a sharp right turn. And we're back under green here at Langley.
And immediately, Scott Shive gets under Chris Golden. Austin Cansdale hanging tough right there.
Yeah, Scott Shive's putting those new tires. And now our 4th caution of the day is going to come out. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
And it's going to be for Benjamin Hollenbaugh. As we take a look right here, it looks like Hollenbaugh just got loose and spun it out. Dang. Tough night for Grubby, as he's known in FWM. All right, so that's going to be our 4th caution of the night. And we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, Chris. I mean, we got less than...
Yep.
Hold on 1 second. Let me look. We got less than 51 laps to go, so...
We got Chris Golden on pit road.
Got Chris Golden coming in.
Yeah, Gerald Berlin, after those last round of pit stops, he's moved up to 11 spots now in the 6th. So he's found something he likes. Got Jay Berlin in the 70 right there, and yeah, we're just looking for a big finish now. So we got 50 laps to go. These guys back in the back. It's time to start making that trek forward.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to add, we're talking about Chris Gold. Well, it's not going good in Man Hips Fantasy League because it looks like I might be beating him. It's going to come down to, actually, I think he's going to win by 5 points. But that is a little side note right there. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of change really. And that, see, Hunter Carlson and Paul Dillon have moved into the top 5 now. So
I do have
top 3 is about the same.
I have a story about Chris Golden though. First time I did, 1 year we did we do a fantasy football league every year, and he said he fell asleep during the draft. He ended up winning the league.
Yeah.
But here we go, green flag back underway here at Langley. So here we go, Scott Shives gonna rocket into the number 2 spot. Austin Cansdale trying to get around Shives. He's gonna follow suit. Pack continues to lead as we hit the line. 46 to go this time by.
Yeah, these guys are really going after it now. So, got anything in that car? Their cars, you'll see it come out now.
Yeah, you'll definitely see it come out as now we see Hunter Carlson has come to life in that Studio 86, number 32, and we got another caution. Oh my gosh! Paul Dillon just went up in the air.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not a very happy camper right about now.
Yeah, as we take a look at, and who else but Andrew Holleran just got into Paul Dillon. So that'll bring out the 5th caution of the day with 44 laps to go. So that is interesting. Let's take another look right here. Yeah, Holleran just drove straight into the corner panel. And Benjamin Hollenball nowhere to go.
Tough break. Sometimes these guys, they get a little aggressive.
Mancini furious over the radio for not getting the lucky dog. As we see Benjamin Hollenball and Bradley Young on pit road. There's Benjamin Hollenball. That's his nickname, aka Grubby. As we see Austin Cansdale coming off pit road. And Antonio Mancini is fired up about not getting his lap back.
I wonder what situation there is.
Mancini is very fired up over the radio, still letting them have it. This ain't going to be good if he doesn't stop soon, Chris. He might have to go see Mr. Cannon in the hauler.
Yeah, El Presidente will be called you down on the carpet. I mean, were they? I don't know, and this is probably some of our fault for not clarifying. I mean, were they actually doing the lucky dog for this race?
I believe so.
Because some of these races they don't offer it. So
pace truck hits pit road, and Austin Pack got a great start, and Hunter Carlson starts to blink as Pack continues to lead, but Shives is right there on his back bumper.
Yeah, they're coming into turn 3 wide open as they can. See these guys getting low down on that apron there.
39 laps to go when they hit the line. Here comes Shives. Scott Shives trying to get to the back of Austin Pack. These two went at it in the late models, and now they're going at it right here as well.
Yeah, they're getting ready to put on a battle here. Just 38 left to go. I'm gonna have to give Hunter Carlson the Blinky Award tonight. I'm still looking. I got a feeling we're gonna see that next quick move of the race come up here pretty soon.
Yeah, we definitely might see our next quick move of the race.
Yeah, I see there, Chris Golden's being scored a lap down.
Yeah, we had an exciting race at North Wilkesboro, though, between Pack and Shives, and now we're getting another exciting race between Pack and Shives here at Langley.
I have to nickname these two Pack of Shives.
Pack of Shives. Oh man, that's funny.
Hang on.
Something's happened on the track, but we're gonna stay green. As I don't know who it was, but some driver was very upset that there wasn't a caution come out. Scott Shives trying to get to the back bumper of Austin Pack right here. Shives looking to his inside, trying to get to the corner panel. Here he goes. Scott Shives drives it in deep, trying to get to the corner panel of Pack. Can't do it, and Pack continues the lead down the backstretch.
Sorry there. I had to break away for just a quick second.
Scott Shives still trying to get to that back bumper at Pack. He's got there before. Now he's going to try again as they hit 30 laps to go in this race. Here comes Scott Shives. He'll try to drive to the inside. No, he won't. He will try to look, but he's going to get to the back bumper. Here he goes. Here comes Scott Shives. He's not going to be able to get to the corner panel. Austin Pack continues to lead going into turn 2. Down the backstretch, though, here they come. Shives trying to get to the back of Pack, but Pack continues to lead as they go into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Shives doing everything he can right now to get to that car and get underneath it. Something upset it a little bit. Any kind. He's looking for any kind of advantage he can get hold to right now.
Yeah, here we go.
Shot from the bumper cam.
Good shot of the bumper cam right here.
Oh, so close. And these guys, they run really hard and really close. This is a great shot to show you just how close they do get.
Yeah, definitely a good shot right here as we see Shives get to the back bumper. Now, will he use the bumper right here? Trying to use the chrome horn. Not going to do it. 25 laps to go. Pack leads. Oh, Pack's starting to blink right there as they come down the backstretch. That was a big blink from Pack. As here comes Shives. These two have separated themselves by 0.2 of a second. By 2 seconds in 2.7 seconds away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, they have they're just stretching that lead right on out. They're almost up to 3 seconds now. I don't see either one of these two right here giving. There's a little bit of tap from the bumper.
Yeah, just to let him know, hey, I'm here knocking on the door. But now Pack is able to get, ooh, big wiggle from Pack right there. That's going to allow Shives to get a good run on him. Shives drives it down, nice line, gets that tire, gets those left side tires on that flat part, and that's giving him the, and we got the 6th caution of the day is out. And it's going to be for Bradley Young. Let's take a look right here. Let's see, Bradley Young driving that Rainbow Trout Bush Light paint scheme. I love that scheme. That's a sweet looking scheme as well. Oh, we just went around. Lost it. Will hopped it.
Yep. Coming out of turn 4.
So that'll bring out our 6th caution with 20 laps to go. When we hit the green, it should be 18 or 17 laps to go, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably 18. Yeah, the only thing with that, with putting that bumper to somebody like we saw Scott do to Pack a few laps ago, you've seen Scott drop back. That's because when he bumped him, he lost just about every bit of the forward momentum that he had, and that's not what you really want. And that, trust me, Shive ain't got to do nothing, because I promise you, Pack knows he's there.
As you see right there on the screen, if you have an X account, or AKA Twitter, If you'll scan that QR code, that will take you to our brand new FWM profile on Twitter. So make sure you scan that QR code. All right, so here we go. I believe it looks like we're going to go single file maybe, as lights are out on the pace truck. When we hit the line, there'll be 17 laps to go. There they go. Now they're stacking up down the back stretch. Now this is going to be exciting right here.
Yeah. We're getting ready to see what's going on with our two lead cars and what we've got going on with the two guys behind.
Here we go. Pace truck's going to take a hard left turn. Green flag back in the air. 17 to go here at Langley. Scott Shives trying to get to the back bumper of Austin Pack as Scott Shives got a great restart. He's right there with Pack. Pack continuing to lead as they come into 3. Now they'll come into 4. Pack's going to be your leader, hitting the line. 16 to go this time by. Now Pack started to pull out just a hair as here comes Shives. Got a great run. He's able to get to that back bumper. Oh, little blinking going from Hunter Carlson. But right now it's between Shives and Pack as they come down the backstretch. 15 to go this time by. Going into the turn. Out of 3. Now into 4. Hits the line. 14 laps to go this time by. Shives, they run 81 first of Austin Pack, then the 87 second of Scott Shives, then Hunter Carlson in 3rd. Here comes Shives. He's going to get to the quarter pedal. Here they go. Drag race down. For a second, they're going to drag race as he gets to the quarter pedal trying to get past the 81. Here comes Shives. Shives trying to get alongside the 81. Can't do it as they go into 1. Going into 1 now, down into 2. Now down the backstretch. Here we go. Pack keeping the 87 behind him. But Shives is not giving up as we hit the line. We timed him. He times him. And that'll bring out a caution. And if I know anything, Scott Shives is not going to be, he's going to be very apologetic because he didn't mean to do that. And I believe that was definitely netcode because if anyone knows Scott Shives, he does not race like that at all. And I'm listening to the radio chatter to see if there's any apology. Of course, he could not be on the iRacing. He could be in Discord. But look at this right here. Let's take another look. Oh, great. Great camera angle right there. Yep, netcode. That's definitely netcode. He didn't even touch him. So, Austin Pack goes around. Unfortunate. Scott Shives will be your leader, followed by Hunter Carlson, followed by Austin Cansdale. And in 4th is going to be Paul Dillon. So that'll be our 7th caution of the day. With 10 laps to go. When we go green, there'll be less than 7 laps to go.
Wow. While we got a second right here, for our viewers that may not know, why don't you explain netcode real quick?
So what netcode is that's the Hunter Carlson was way down there. But netcode, what it is, you know, this, like I said, this is a simulator. This is not real life, and it's just a code issue that happens. And I mean, it's a glitch. You know, sometimes it'll be a single car, sometimes it'll be 2 cars, but
yeah, I like to refer to it as netcode for me as the invisible man, or the invisible Baba Yaga, boogeyman, because he'll get you.
Yeah, definitely is. Here we go. Pace truck hits pit road. 7 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Shives goes to the front and he's going down to the bottom to block Austin Cansdale. Cansdale trying to get alongside Carlson. When we hit the line, there'll be 6 to go as they come out of 3 and 4. Scott Shives continues to lead, but here comes Cansdale to work on Carlson for second. Carlson goes to the outside, using the outside line. Carlson's going to get the advantage. Paul Dillon's going to try to get up there to pass Cansdale. Now here they come. 5 laps to go this time by when they hit the line. 3 wide back in the back with Austin Pack. He'll split, he'll thread the needle and get the position. Oh man, here we go now, folks. Hunter Carlson, and that's going to bring out a caution. We're going to have a green, white checker.
Man, what an exciting finish to this one here at Langley Speedway tonight, I tell you. You know,
I have to take a look and see what happened.
but while y'all trying to figure that out. Yeah, there it is, the 14. Got him another one. Poor old Bremer right there. He's been in a couple of those this evening.
Yeah, they said that he hit his clutch instead of his brake right there.
That's never good.
So,
Hey, you know, I was doing a little bit of reading up about Langley Speedway. I didn't know it, but back in the 1940s, this track actually was a horse racing track.
really?
Yeah, it was a horse track, and in between horse races, some of the owners at the time that owned it, they would have stock car racing. And then by the 1950s, they figured out that, hey, these race cars are drawing more of a crowd than the horses are.
Really?
So they converted it to a dirt track.
So we do have an explanation. Colton Brenner got down and he said he hit his clutch instead of his brake, and that's why he drove through Charles Oberg right there and brought out our 8th caution. So here we go, folks. There'll be a green, white checker. We'll get the green. And if they get back to the line, next flag ends the race. But if they don't, we'll wreck them, stack them, and try them again. So here we go now. Everyone up on the gas. Now, Scott Shives is the control car right here. As the pace truck takes a hard left turn, green flag, we're back underway. Here we go, folks. Green flag back here at, oh my gosh.
Langley. Are we under caution again?
Our 9th caution of the day, and somebody is not happy with somebody on the radio. And it looks like it's going to be Colton Brennan that they're not happy with. And
Gerald Berlin might have been caught up in that. We saw him getting back straightened out in front of the leaders there.
Take a look right here. Oh, yep, that's it right there. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And the quote of the night. That's what happens when you let these SK modified drivers race these late models. I kid y'all not. That's what they said on the radio as now we hit our 9th caution. So this will be our 2nd attempt at a green white checker. As we're getting set. Let's get our in-race reporter, Mr. Austin Cansdale. Cansdale, do we get 3 attempts or 2 attempts?
We got 2 attempts, so this is the last attempt.
All right, well, good luck out there, and hopefully you bring home the win.
I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, so this will be our last attempt at a green-white checker. Whatever happens, next flag ends the race. If there's a caution, if we get to the white, if they get to the line, it's over. Field is frozen. You do not race back to the line in this series. So if the caution comes out, the field is frozen, and that's where you'll finish. So here we go now. Coming around. We have hit overtime for the second time today. So this race went into double overtime. As lights are out on the pace truck, we'll be going green this time by Scott Shives, followed by Austin Cansdale. Then you got Hunter Carlson and Paul Dillon. Austin Pack back up there along with Zach Patano. So here we go. Pace truck hits pit road. Here we go, folks. Green flag back underway. This is the last attempt. Next flag ends the race. Popsicle sticks go up in the air. Scott Shives gets a great restart, but Austin Cansdale's right there. Here comes Hunter Carlson. Carlson trying to get to the inside of Cansdale. Cansdale's out on an island as now Scott Shives takes the white flag this time. Comes into 1-2. Now down the backstretch for the final time. Pack goes around, but we stay green. And for the second week in a row, as Paul Dillon goes around, there's a big wreck behind him. Scott Shives will win. Go back-to-back in the late models. How about that? Look at that. Gerald Berlin finishes in reverse along with Andrew Holleran. But I think this might be Andrew Holleran's last race. But that's going to do it. So,
Yeah,
Scott
it looked like
Shives.
Holland got into vehicle in front of him pretty hard there.
What a race.
Yep, set off a chain reaction of events.
We need to get our results because, I mean, Scott Shives is your winner. So here we go. Scott Shives will be your winner, followed by Hunter Carlson. Then you find Austin Cansdale, Chris Golden is going to finish 4th. 5th, Bradley Young. 6th, Gerald Berlin. 7th, Antonio Mancini. 8th, Joshua Tressler. 9th, Drew Holleran. And 10th, Zach Patano. Chris, who finished 11th?
11th, we'll find Austin Pack. 12th, Paul Dillon. 13th, Daniel Jones. 14th, Charles Oberg. 15th, Colton Brenner. 16th, Benjamin Hollenbaugh. 17th, Yogi Schleer. And 18th, to finish out the field, is Art Moline.
Yeah, that's our pirate friend, Mr. Art Moline. We'll be right back as we get ready for our post-race coverage right here on FWM Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back here live at Langley Speedway. Welcome to the FWM Network post-race show. And I believe, Chris, who have you caught up with down there in the pits?
I got our third place finisher, Hunter Carlson, with me right now.
I didn't know me and Hunter really looked alike. Okay.
Oh, Austin, you are our third place guy?
Yeah.
I'll be dang. I get that wrong every time.
It's all good.
I got it.
He-
I got to keep the ticker pulled up from now on. My bad.
oh, it's okay. We're not one number different. He's 32 and I'm the 33. So, I mean, it's okay.
All right. Well, anyways, Austin, give us a little bit of a synopsis as to what the race looked like from your point of view tonight.
Well, came in feeling pretty good. I feel like I had a top 5 car all night. Just I stayed there pretty much all race. Got caught up between the 63 early on in the race, spun around. Uh, just rode it out though. We didn't get a caution when we spun, but we just rode it out. Saved those tires as much as we could, and then cautions kept breeding cautions tonight, and then I just waited until the best moment to come in and pit fresh tires, and it kind of worked out in my favor. I chewed them up too early going on that last stint. Just chewed them up real good and couldn't get no traction underneath Hunter when we was fighting side by side for a second there.
Yeah, this flat track here at Langley, it'll definitely go through some tires. But it seemed like your car would always kind of come back to you a little bit. So as far as like from a setup perspective, how was your setup with this track versus some of your other like your bank tracks?
It's just the springs were a lot different in these cars, especially on a flat track compared to a bank track. You have to roll the corners a lot more here at a flat track to get the car to go around the corner. I know most people weren't really rolling the corner. Um, that's why we had a lot of pile-ups there. People were trying to race their line instead of trying to stay behind the guy in front of them and wait for a better opening, and it would cause people to hit people and cause them to wreck. But that's problem with short track racing. It's not really a problem. It is short track racing. Everybody likes beating and banging. It's just sometimes it just gets a little out of hand.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, the first half of the race, we were basically caution free, and then, like you said, cautions breed cautions, and then you just started seeing them coming, out of nowhere. We were having a little bit of a shuffle trying to keep up with them, but Austin, you done great. Uh, another great finish for you. Closing, do you have anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank Four-Way Motorsports Network for sponsoring the hooded car. I got Eastern Technical Designs on the car. B Main Podcast, Scott Shive, your winner. He's the host of that show, so glad to have him on the car. Clayton Holmes, Studio 86, Mobile One, Triple B Racing. Want to thank Tracy for doing everything. I got a special tribute to him on the back of the car. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it during the broadcast, but it says, "Thank you, Tracy Brown, Emmett Crow, and Uncle Cannon for everything y'all do." So got them on the car. I just want to thank Eric, Grace, Dylan, Taylor. They always watch these races. I know Dylan was in the chats commenting up, blowing it up. Tracy was in my ears saying he's blowing up the chat. So I want to thank them for supporting me as much as they do. I want to thank Hunter for admin and all these races. Cannon for being an owner. I want to thank y'all for doing everything y'all do for these races, putting on a great show. I love watching these after the races.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate it because we couldn't do what we do without you guys on the track. So Austin, again, congratulations to a third place finish, and we appreciate you, man. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right, Emmett. I'm gonna see if I can run down our second place finisher, Hunter Carlson. Hunter, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. There I am giving away spots again. Hunter, you seem to have a good car most of the evening. Um, what it means to another driver on the track for somebody to kind of blink out for a minute or two? What does that do to their psyche?
Well, it just kind of it'll ruin their corner entry because you're not sure where they are, and I'm still trying to figure out the whole network thing with this new internet. Trying to figure if I can stream while these races are. I should be able to on this thing, but Mediacom's giving me some fits. I'll get that figured out, but it really does mess people up. I didn't know I was blinking, so that's news to me, to be honest with you. But I'll get that figured out next week.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times there, but it didn't, like you said, you didn't know, so it weren't affecting you at all. I mean, obviously you finished in second place. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about what your strategy was after these accidents, these cautions started coming out?
Well, they helped me. I had a terrible qualifying effort. I messed up turn one on both my laps, and that put me already in the hornet's nest to start. Got stuck on the high line at the start, drove all the way back down 12th or 13th. Got spun, lost my cool for a second, caused a caution, had to go back to the back, work my way from 17th to 8th or 9th before that caution came out. Just tried to really be patient through the rest of there, and the cautions just kept coming out. I kept restarting on the bottom, kept gaining spots, and they kept wrecking in front of me, and I kept gaining spots there, and I eventually found myself up into the top three or four, and I'm like, maybe I can get a good finish out of this thing. Then they wrecked again. I got stuck on the high side running second. The only thing I was able to do there was be on the defensive there is pinch the living crap out of Cansdale there, and we raced real hard. That was a lot of fun. He has everyone has the same right to go down to the apron there, and I have every right to pinch you down there. So it's just all love and fair and racing there, and it just worked out.
Yeah, I mean, when you got hung out on that outside, I was like, oh boy, not the spot you want to be in for sure. Because we were talking about it throughout the broadcast about how flat this track is, and I don't know about you, man, but I am not a fan of a flat track. Give me some kind of banking, you know.
Yeah, I definitely. I don't have a lot of experience yet. I think I've one race here, so I didn't know what to expect, especially in this car. I only have a handful of starts in this thing. Yeah, this thing's different on a flat track. Give me a flat track any day and like an ARCA car style car, but this thing, you had to have especially on the long run, I had my brake bias all the way down to 48%. I started at 54 or something like that at the start of the race, so I had to go real low to get that thing to turn on the middle of the corner on the long run, because you're just destroying your right front by the wet lane you got to run to be fast here, and just it's bottom dominant. It's going to cause cautions. I'm honestly surprised we didn't have more than we did. We got a couple good long ring flag runs in, and I'd say as an admin of this series, I'm pretty happy with how it went.
Yeah, I think that the race was great. You know, it was getting a little testy there towards the end. You know, there might have been a few tempers. It might have got flared due to some of the actions on track. But all in all, man, great production, great race, great finish, Hunter. As always, it's great talking with you. If you got any last words before we let you go.
Yeah, I want to thank Studio 86. They allowed me to throw one of my favorite motorsports podcasts out there, the B Main Oz, with the co-host of our winner here, Scott, and means a whole lot. I love the debuting this new car. It's put a lot of work into it. I think it looks pretty good on track, but want to thank Victory Field for always supporting me, and want to thank everyone at Copperhead Racing. They're always out there supporting me, allowing me to get better with my designs and with my racecraft, and it just means a whole lot for me.
Awesome. Well, Hunter, go enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for a great, entertaining race, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Yep, thank you.
All right, bud. Emmett, back to you, brother.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chris. So, ladies and gentlemen, He did it back to back on the late models. Mr. Scott Shives is your race winner. Man, dude, talk to me. How does this feel?
It feels good. Not the same as 2 weeks ago. Obviously, me and Pack. I think Pack was. I think he was one of the fastest. He was the fastest car all night. I think me and him were up front running. Obviously, we got into it later in the race. I pitted. He stayed out. I was surprised. I was able to work through most of the cars on a couple quick restarts, and I got to him. But he was so good at defending. And so but from that point, I knew it was not just going to be an easy pass. Pack is able to race cleanly. He's always raced me clean, even just a few races. I've watched him for a long time when you and I have gotten to call races, and I know he's always so clean. So I saw he was obviously, I was a little faster with the new tires, of course. But I saw that his weakness was in 3 and 4. He would get tight through the center, wash up a little bit, and then cut back down the track. And so I knew that was my opening to try to get side by side with him so then I could send it deep into 3 and push him up maybe a little bit and get past him because I knew if I stayed side by side with him, he was going to probably try to cross me over. But so anyway, you saw that lap. I entered in. I got inside of him, and I felt like, because again, we have to claim cautions here at Four Wide Motorsports. And so I got inside of him, and I felt like he came down the track. So I was like, I don't want to claim this and go to the back if it was, either a racing incident where both of us did something or it was just him. And so I didn't want to sabotage myself. If it was blatantly me, I would absolutely say, hey, I'm going to take that caution. I don't want anyone to ever think I'm a guy that's going to race you really hard and wreck you or anything like that and not take my part in it and say, hey, I did that. I'm sorry. An apology can only do so much when you're at the back of the field. But if that ever happens when I get to race or in something like this, I'm going to say, hey, this is how I felt and, whatever. But I don't want anyone in the league or anyone watching to say, oh, man, that guy, he's dirty or whatever. So it still feels good to get the win, but it's got a little asterisk by it for sure.
I was about to say, you don't have to worry about that, dude. I defended you big time on the broadcast because I was like, this ain't how Scott Shine races. But, so we talked about your last one at North Wilkesboro, and you said you couldn't believe that you won. Talk about this one. Could you believe that you won this one? Did you feel a little more confident about this one going in?
I felt more confident than I would have going into North Wilkesboro because Langley, I've raced at Langley for quite a while in iRacing. It's been one of my best tracks in late model stock, but I knew that Austin Pack was probably going to be my biggest contender. Me and him were going a little bit back and forth, the fastest laps in practice. I was able to best him in qualifying, but he was on my back bumper right off the gate with the start of the race, and so I didn't know how I wanted to play it. I didn't know if I wanted to let him go by and then hopefully catch up to him later because I kind of played it in 2 stages at North Wilkesboro where the second stage I kind of held him off. And so I was going to think about that this race, but I know how Langley chews up tires. So if he was going to force the issue, I was going to let him go, try to save a little bit more, get back to him towards the end of the run. But I think of the two of us, he just had more pace. Toward the end there, I just had the tire advantage. But if you stacked us up together on raw pace, we were close, but I think he was faster.
Oh, we head to Stafford next late model race. How do you feel going into Stafford?
Stafford's another flat track. It's tough. 1 and 2 is interesting. You kind of diamond it. The straightaways are fairly long, so you want to get a good run down into turn 3. 3 and 4, fairly straightforward. Wrap the bottom. But I've only done a couple races in late model stock there, so I'm just going to hope for a good finish. Keep trying to podium it, keep it in the top 3s, and stay atop this championship leaderboard. Don't want to pull an Oscar Piastri like you did at Baku.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we got to ask, who you got coming on the podcast this week?
Well, actually, I'm going to see if Golden wants to come on next episode. Hot off of his ARCA run, even though it didn't go the way he wanted to. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, Chris Golden's always a good interview. Had him on my podcast personally about 3 years ago. So, yeah, always a great interview. Well, is there anyone you'd like to thank out there before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, of course, I would love to thank, obviously, the Lord Jesus Christ. Again, I couldn't do any of this. Don't have any of this equipment, the talent, the ability, anything without my Lord and Savior. Of course, I got to thank my family for always supporting me. My girlfriend as well, Avery Johnson, as well as, of course, the B Main podcast episodes come out every other Monday. Usually every other Monday from when we are racing here. So on the truck nights, that's when our episodes come out. They'll come out Tuesday morning. So big thanks to Beeman. I'm working on the paint scheme right now. So hopefully. Hopefully, it should be here by next race. I would love to put that paint scheme in Victory Lane. It's going to be tougher at Stafford than it's been these past two. But again, the B-Main podcast, 4 Wide Motorsports, Wayne, you, Emmett, as well as Tracy and Chris for helping me out, allowing me to race and not broadcast, get a little bit my racing guru on. But, of course, 4 Wide Motorsports, everyone that supports me, and I appreciate y'all.
Well, congrats again. Once again, going back to back, man. What a way to start off your season.
Feels great. Thank y'all.
Once again, that is your race winner, race fans, Mr. Scott Shives. But with that being said, we want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. For my producer, Mr. Tracy Brown, and for my buddy Chris Mullins doing color, and our in-race reporter, Mr. Austin Kazel. Actually, no, wait. We got to do the next quick move of the race. I think it's going to be... I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Scott Shives' move on Austin Pack to win the race.
Agreed.
I hate to say it, but I think that's what we're going to go with.
Don't hate it, because that's what I was thinking.
Producer Tracy thirds it.
All right, so that is our vote. So Scott Shives' move on Austin Pack to win the race is the winner. That is our next quick move of the race. Now, like I was saying, for my producer, Mr. Tracy Brown, for our color commentator, Mr. Chris Mullins, I'm Emmett Crow saying, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week at Dover for the trucks.